Okay, so this is getting us further ready for our kind of big project, which is based on perspective. And it's looking at some lettering. We're going to be doing some very interesting things with typography. But here, a lot of this is exactly what we just did. Again, I took the liberty of actually starting. I put my horizon line. I put my 2 vanishing points. And then I dropped in a vertical. Notice my vertical does not go all the way to the top or the bottom. It just kind of maybe an inch above and below the lines. I connect my orthogonals. Again, those of you that need to watch this video in its entirety, please do. If you've done perspective drawing before, you can go ahead and continue. Just make sure you take a peek every so often just to kind of verify your work. Same as before, you're going to go ahead and drop in your orthogonals to the top and the bottom, left and right side. Make sure you've got that all nicely connected, which is where we are right now, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually add a little bit of lining into this letter E. We're going to go back to our vertical line, our nice vertical line. We're going to pull it to the left, and what you're going to find is that this is going to determine how thick the letter E is. Is the letter E on a diet, or is the letter E a little thicker? So you're going to go ahead and drop that line in, and just know that this line and this line are going to stay. Okay? I can then connect my orthogonal and just draw the 2 points, or between the 2 points, because that's all that's staying. So again, that's the side of my letter E. That guy is done. I'm now going to go ahead and start working on the dimension to the E. And if you look at the little diagram, what you're going to notice, let me pull this. What you're going to notice is that you've got more lining and orthogonals in here that you're going to have to look at. So if we look at the top, I'm going to go ahead and drop a little vertical in, and then we're going to start connecting points in there. Okay? So those verticals, let me get up in here. I'm going to drop a thin vertical in, and that thin vertical is going to tell us how wide that portion of the E is. This one is going to be very light because I don't want to see that later on. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and a little distance away, drop one more vertical, and that's going to be the outside of the letter E. Okay? So that will come in here. And now just like before, I can actually just draw in the portions that I need. That's one side of the E. That's the middle. And here's the lower portion. Okay? So you see I've got my 3, which are going to be these sections up at the top. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's where we are right now. We're doing pretty well. We're going to start connecting some orthogonals to get this guy moving. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect here to the vanishing point. So I've connected the bottom point to the vanishing point. Again, for this little dash, the top, what do we want to call them? Lines, the top line of the E. We're going to connect the bottom to the vanishing point and let it go all the way back to that vertical that's still in pencil right there. Okay? From there, I'm also going to connect that point to my opposite vanishing point because that's going to give the bottom. So right now what I have is I have the bottom that's kind of disappearing. Okay? And that piece, I should see a little bit of a triangle, which also means I can put the top of this triangle, the top of the letter E in. Oops, I went a little outside, sorry. I can already put that in, okay? Next point, we're going to start with the middle. Middle's fairly simple. Middle, you're going to take and connect. This is, let's see, I'm trying to think if we're going to see much of this. I think we'll see a little bit. Okay, mine is a little bit different. I probably should have kept mine closer to the vanishing point. Would have made it a little easier on me. Okay, we've got that guy. And then we've got that guy.
You will be collecting these also?
Oh, absolutely collecting these.
Some kids have like the one perspective within the sheets.
They will turn those in as well. Anyone that had to finish up on anything over the weekend, yes. Okay?
And that's it for the day, if you're done with it?
Well, after the letter E, we'll look at it. We'll see what we have time-wise. Okay? Now, I'm going to have to look at that center for the E, but I'm going to continue on the bottom. On the bottom, I know I got this one. Then I'm going to do the same as usual. I'm going to connect the opposite sides. I'm going to go back to that middle part of the E. Just be patient with me. Let's do what we know for sure, and then we'll reason through the other one. Same point, connect it to both vanishing points. Okay? And then you've got that one, you've got that one, and then you've got that one right there. Okay? Now for these points, for right over in here, what we're going to have is a connection from this vanishing point because it's on the horizon line. From this vanishing point over, because it's on the horizon line and below, so we're not going to see underneath. And then from this side, it will also go in that direction. And then this will come through. Should have used my ruler. Okay. Now there's a potential that you will see it just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of there. No, that is absolutely wrong. Ignore that. The second I did it, I looked at it, I'm like, nope, that's wrong. Do not put that one in. You'll have to ignore me on that one. See, it definitely takes some time in kind of rationalizing through it. But basically what we're looking at is, let's see if I can get rid of that a little bit.
Yeah, you're tempted to have it at top and the bottom.
You really are tempted. You definitely are tempted. Here, let's put some tape over that. Okay, hopefully you can just kind of ignore that. But you can see a little bit more of the depth that's achieved into that letter E. I've got to figure there's something missing on that middle stem. You know what it is? Okay, I'm really thinking about it, and I'm actually wondering if that line wasn't wrong. I think it's actually this line that's wrong. I sat back and I looked at it. That is it. So, let's look and see where those orthogonals came from for that middle one.
Ah, too boxy.
It was the wrong angle. So this one came from over here. And then this one also came from over there because those two are on the side that's facing that right vanishing point. So now we solved it. You guys know exactly what to expect on this one. You just have to look and see which side is it facing and get those orthogonals matching up. The only ones that go to the opposite side are the inner workings. Like right here, that would be in shadow. So let me shade that in. That would be in shadow. And right here would be in shadow.
So, you gotta fix
Okay?